Hey guys, welcome to the grind. My name is Ark, and I've got a different type of video for you today. I want to do a little mid-league leveling for some average players. So let's jump right in. Make sure you always have another move only key, and I like to put it on spacebar, and the reason behind that is then you can run around while you put your gems in. Things ready. Just a very nice way like this. I'm not the most efficient player at doing this. If you ever keep practicing, you get better and better.
To see another dawn.
You got the big bastard.
So once you go to town, you're going to want to look for movement speed boots, all the main stuff like that. Look for your links, but I actually have gear that I will be leveling with. I'm going to throw that on real quick, and then we'll get started. Now, since this is a mid-league guide, I do have everything ready to go. And just to give you guys an example, on a league start, you're going to be looking for certain things. So,
God has a
Fate away.
Farewell. Stay sharp out there.
alright. So now, for the next part, run through the coast like normal. And don't forget, you can do your passives while you're running. Even if you run into a wall, you're going to be in a better position than you were if you're just standing still. So make sure you're always moving. Even if you end up into a wall, you'll be further than you were if you just stood there to put your points in. So just always remember to keep moving. That's how you keep your time quick in this game. And another great tip for this, for mid-league leveling, is look at some of these replica items. I mean, some of these replica items are crazy. So next, you want to go to the mud flats instead of going right to the beach. And the reasoning behind that is that you want the submerged passage waypoint right away. Now obviously, since I am having this gear, I'm going to be going a lot faster. Most of us will during league start, but there are some things to help with that. There will be a video to go along with this. Videos will be coming out today, and it'll go over recipes that can really help speed up your gameplay and what you should be looking for depending on what you're actually doing, you know? That's different for every build. So for this, I'm going to be doing caster, and then eventually I'll be doing a melee build, and I'll show you guys the same thing that I usually do. Alright, so now that we're at the submerged passage, just travel back to the coast, and now we're going to do the medicine chest. See, even though I was working on that right then, I got a little bit further just from keeping the movement going. Might not be as smooth as a racer, but just because you're not as smooth as a racer does not mean that it isn't. We locked that boss down pretty good. The enemies are in my way, so now I'm gonna go to save to exit to character screen, jump right back in. That is the faster way to do that than portal for the most part.
take care.
So grab another flask, put onslaught in there.
Well,
Stay sharp out there.
If you know what build you're going to do, one thing you can do that is always helpful
Job for you, if you're willing.
is make a tab for the gems you want to level up with and everything else. I'm going to be using bear traps, so I'm going to put that in there now and put my mana flask in. So let's get the next part started. You always want to keep your map open so you can see where you're going. You saw just then, which is an easy mistake to make, that you will run into a wall, and if you have your map open, you'll be able to see that well before you get to that point, just for efficiency. Now, you don't need to kill everything. For this build, I want to probably be the same level as the area, just because I will be so deck starved in the beginning with this build. So why you see me killing a few more things than I normally would here. But now we're going to keep moving. Now this is normally when you see areas like this, you're going to find a lot of dead ends once they start worming off into different corridors. Just try to stay in the middle and run along the edge of the walls to see as much as you can. Just simple tips that I like to use for doing this the most efficient way. I know I got points to put in, but right now it's mostly just life, and my damage is going to be so good right now that it's not going to make the biggest difference. Make sure you get your flasks as you go, it's very important. It'll make your gameplay a lot smoother. As you can see with everything, 30 explosive trap damage right now. Doesn't look like it would be a lot, but with the 4 to 7 smaller explosions, pretty good. Normally by Prisoner's Gate, for most speedrunners you want to be level 8. I try to be a little bit higher level for this type of running, just because you really want to have every advantage and every movement skill. Really get as far as you possibly can as quick as possible. So. There we go. Already at the climb. And now we're going to next part done here. I won't usually grab the waypoint here, to be honest with you, unless it's a league start. I just don't feel like it's too much of a necessity. You don't spend really any time here, unless you're playing very off meta build that doesn't have the damage you need. You're most likely not going to die. I mean, just keep moving.
A slave is not a man. A slave is not even worthy of death.
I don't know if this is correct for this area, but when you see bone chill, usually it's a sign for me that I'm going the right direction. Now, I could be completely wrong. Obviously, this time it is wrong. But probably funny. Yep, it is wrong. But usually when I'm running through here, if I see bone chill, then I'm usually side. Like I said, it's something I personally follow. It's now apparently not always right, but that's usually how I run the map. Even though I was running into a wall, it's still, as you guys saw, I might not be in the best place when I'm doing it, but I am further than I was if I didn't move at all. That's really all you want to be doing.
I expect a better performance.
So I also wanted to make this video because I feel a lot of the strategies that are given to us as pro players are from people who invest extremely large amounts of time into this game, which is where you're going to get the most accurate information. But sometimes it can be a little difficult on you when you're trying to do a speed run, and the only person that you have to base yourself off of is somebody who is pretty much a professional speedrunner. So just to give you guys like the more average players look at the game, that you can do this quick, and it's just about efficiency. The more you just practice and the more you play the game, the quicker you'll get at it, and the better you'll be. And Act 1 and Act 2 are usually going to be your slowest acts for the most part. There are a few exceptions to the campaign. You have to do certain strategies to go faster that aren't necessarily intuitive, but for the most part, you're going to get quicker and quicker the more that you play. So just keep practicing, keep trying different things out. You'd be surprised how good you can actually get at this game. You actually just take the time to practice a little bit. Alright, we got Brutus down. Now here's where you'll go back and you'll normally get your movement skills. I'm gonna grab mine as well. Let's go back and grab that. So grab this waypoint. It's faster to save and exit here, but I'm just gonna jump through here just to show you guys, even though I have leveling gear, taking a little bit of time, so good thing for you.
Stay sharp out there. Stay sharp out.
Be well.
And we're gonna throw added fire damage into this,
Goodbye.
just to get a little bit more of a boost. Alright. Once we hit level 10, we're going to throw that in, which will be nice for this map for sure. But even if we get it in the ship graveyard, it'll still be great. The quicker you get the movement skills, the better. You don't have to deal with all the ledges and everything like that. It is one bonus to killing packs as you go. But like I said, you're going to get slowed down anyway at that from doing that, so it's better just to keep moving. The second you do get it, you're going to be in a good spot anyway. So Airgraves is going to be over here. Look for that lore tag. And I go down here. I don't actually have my leap slam yet. So. Now I don't know all the fine tricks for this layout. I just will keep moving while I set everything up. Never really want to stop. And I know I keep saying keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, but that's really how important it is. If you treat town, your hideout, anything like lava that as you want to keep pushing the game, you will get further quicker, you will get more currency. It is the truth. You need to treat the resting areas of the game like they are lava, that you should not be there for very long unless you are trading in softcore or hardcore trade, and you really just need to get that done. But put time aside for yourself to do that, so you can get that done. Now, another thing you want to look for, that I like to look for in Act 1, is I like to look for my resistances, because it's not very hard to get an early ruby ring or sapphire ring or anything else you might need, and then as you need more stuff, you replace it with the better items. So any resists in the early game are going to really help you. Now, even though I'm having a hard time finding this cave, it's the fact that I'm continuing to move and weaving through the areas where it would be is going to get you there faster. Don't just get upset and oh, actually the wrong way. So you can see I actually did end up passing it earlier just because I did not end up reading that. I figured that was the exit for sure just by the way it was located. I ended up passing it. That's still okay. You can make up this time. Just keep moving. Get it done. Every player is going to make mistakes sometimes, and it's okay if you make mistakes as long as you just... There's one way to make up for it is if you don't have to kill the mobs, if you can be under-leveled a little bit in the zones, which is fine anyway, up until this point, then you're going to be in a great spot. And look, I was rewarded with a movement speed shrine. So, should be in and out of here real quick. There we go. Feels like mapping. Kill a few mobs to get your charges back, and then get your quests done. Now we know exactly where we need to go, so run over here. The first time I shot this video, I actually had the best layout you can have for this video. The cave was right next to Fairgraves, and the audio actually got corrupted, which is fine. It happens sometimes. I also spent a little bit less time really stressing on movement, but it really is the most important thing. So just get your bosses lined up with the bear trap, and as you can see, melted them right down. Obviously with leveling gear that shouldn't be too hard anyway, but always make sure you're doing a rotation as if you did not have leveling gear. Very important. If you treat your character like you don't have leveling gear on, even when you do, you're always going to be playing a little bit safer. You're always going to be throwing all the skills down and all the support that you need to make sure your damage output is where you need it to be to get the fight done even faster. Now in these early maps with Merviel and everything, there are a lot of dead ends. So keep that in mind. Be vigilant on watching it, and you'll make mistakes along the way, and that's okay. As long as you're looking, see right there. Good example, they like to dead end. And I don't know all the tricks, but I just want to give you guys a realistic expectation from someone who can get to maps in, 4 hours, 4.5 hours if I'm messing around or if I'm having a hard time finding that item in early league that I need for resists. Then this is what it can be sometimes. Now, we are deck starved in this build, so I am going to get that for now. When you hug those walls, you can really see where the dead ends are a little bit quicker. I misclicked there for a second. Another dead end. Alright, we are at Merville.
This is not true face!
Make sure you just dot her up as much as you can. Hit her with as much damage as you possibly can right in the beginning. And we're out of mana, so
Dinner is served, children!
probably didn't need to spam so hard on it, but it is what it is. This is how you're playing softcore. Don't worry about making the character look like a hardcore build. If you die, you die. That's not a bad thing. And then burst her down.
Your curse is over, Siren. Rest with healing quarter.
Alright guys, that was Act 1. We're going to keep going through the rest of the acts. Every day we'll do one act. So drop a like if you liked the video, subscribe, and I will also have a recipe video for you out prior to this one coming out. Make sure you check that out because I'm going to split up the most important recipes for the act for casting.